What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. I know it's been a long time, but I'm hopefully making a return and posting more frequently. Today I'm going to be talking about the monthly expenses while studying here in Egypt. Assalamu alaikum. I have each expense broken down into categories. The first one being your studies and schooling. The second being your daily shopping for food and just food in general. And then third being your travel expenses like Uber or taking a taxi or tuk-tuk. And then also extracurricular activities like going to the gym or just traveling and doing different things. Alhamdulillah. No. So to start, basically, I'm just showing you the different things that I've been doing here while I'm studying, like going to the gym, my school, jiu-jitsu, and things like that. But make sure you stay to the end to make sure you don't miss out. I try to explain as much as I can. If you guys have any questions, let me know. So there's going to be 4 categories that I'm going to be talking about today. The first one is going to be school, how much you're going to pay for your classes, your studies, for your private tutors, for Quran, for Arabic, and that's going to be the first one. The second category is going to be traveling expenses. That's going to be traveling to class and back, using Uber, using a tuk-tuk, and those expenses on those lines. The third category is going to be food, how much you expected to spend on food a month. What is like buying groceries and what is like paying for delivery for food or eating at a restaurant. And the fourth one is going to be extracurricular activities. That includes going to the gym, going to the swimming pool, going to jiu-jitsu. That's what I recently started doing, and I wanted to show you guys that as well. I'm gonna make another video for that. But those are the 4 main categories to think about when you come here for your monthly expenses. So let's break it down. All right, so first category 1 is gonna be your studies. How much it costs on your monthly expenses for your studies. So for studying at the Marquez, it's around 2,000 Guinea, which is about $40 US. But then when you first start, you do have to pay a registration fee, which was about, I think, 500 Guinea to 1,000. So that's going to be like another $10 to $20. But from now, I'm only paying my monthly quarterly class fee for each level, and that's going to be around $40 US or 2,000 Guinea. Number 2 is going to be your daily expenses for travels. For me, I usually like to use Uber because it's the most efficient way for me to travel and it's the most cheapest way. Even though it may seem that it might be more expensive, but it's actually cheaper than the tuk-tuks. For me, my Uber ride from my home to class is gonna be about 15 to 20 Guinea, which is like maybe around 40 cents, because a US dollar to Egyptian Guinea is about 1 to like 49 or something like that. So if it's like 20 to 25, that's about 50 cents. But it's usually around like 15 to 20 Guinea. So it's less than 50 cents to travel to class. And then on the way back, it's around the same. So I say I spend maybe around $1 for travels from my home to class and back. And then sometimes if I go to the gym is not too far from me, maybe it's around the same. So maybe I spend $2 a day on traveling. Sometimes I like to walk to the gym or walk to class. So it changes, it may depend on the day. And some days my Uber rides are really cheap, only 15 on for me to go to the school, me to go to the gym. So it really depends, but I'll round up to make it okay, what's the most you're gonna likely spend? So that's gonna be $2 a day for me traveling to school and to the gym. So about 30 days, that's gonna be $60. But then there's always gonna be days off. But I'll just say I'm going to the gym and class every single day to count, and so in case I go somewhere else on my days off, if I want to go to a mall or something or visit some friends, I'll just include that. So right now the second bracket is going to be about $60 a month for traveling to school, to traveling to the gym, to traveling to extracurricular activities. Number 3 is going to be food. Food is the one that's kind of it really depends on the person and how much they eat and what they like to eat. For me, since I'm going to the gym a lot, I like to eat high protein meals, so I like to buy a lot of chicken and things like that. And so it really depends on what you buy. For me, I spend maybe around $20 a week, which is about 1,000 Guinea each time I go shopping, and usually that includes me buying my chicken, me buying some other meals. My main source of protein is chicken, so that's the most expensive thing that I usually buy. And the other things that I buy, like oatmeal, pasta, rice, it's gonna be around 20 US dollars. So if you add that up for 4 weeks, it's gonna be 100 US dollars. So now we got school studies, we got travels, and we got expenses for food. Total right now is about $200. And the last one is extracurricular activities. So when I bought my gym membership, I bought a 6-month package. So then I paid fewer per month basically. So I think it was like a 6-month package, 60 to 70 US dollars. So that comes about around 10 US dollars per month. So that adds it up to like around 210 right now. And then another thing that I forgot to add, which is the most important, is your rents. Where you're gonna be living and how much it costs for your room and like water and stuff like that. So for me, for my previous place, right now I recently moved. For my previous place, I was renting out one room, and that room was about 5,000 guinea per month, which is equivalent to $1 US, and I would pay that every month. And then we would split the water, electricity, and the Wi-Fi. So it ended up being about like another maybe 500 guinea. So that's gonna be 5,500 for your living, for your rent, and your like daily utilities, basically your monthly utilities. So if you add the previous number, which was 210 plus the 5,500, that's gonna be about 330, and that's basically how much that I've been spending per month while studying here in Egypt. There is some differences depending on if I want to go out on a fancy restaurant with some of my friends, if they're going to be leaving, or just spending time with them like maybe every other week or like once a month. Maybe I go out to a fancy restaurant, or if I want to try different activities here that I haven't tried before, then it may change a little bit. But like for you to live comfortably and just the lifestyle that I've been living, and alhamdulillah with what I have, I've been spending around 330 US dollars, and that is more than enough for me. I'm able to go to my classes, I'm able to go to the gym, I'm able to buy the food that I want and need so I can be healthy and continue to grow in my fitness journey. And I'm able to enjoy myself when I want to go out, when I want to go to different places to go walk or wherever it may be, and enjoy the weather. But that's the main portion that I want to talk about, that most people, they don't know what to expect. And for me, I say if you come around and you have about around 330 to 350, you can usually squeeze it down to 300. Most people say 300, but I put in extra. I put in like the most what I would spend, or not the most, but I put more money just as a buffer for days that I go out and do more activities, and some days I don't. I do less and I just chill home. So about 330 is what it's gonna be like. Sometimes people can end up spending more to like 400 if they go out more and their house is more expensive, and they need more things for their like home and everything. So that's another variable. So if you just live like how I was living, which you live in you rent one room out from somebody else, and you just go to school and you go to the gym, and that's like your main three things, then it's gonna be around 300 to 330 basically. I say 300 to 350 just as a buffer, So that's going to be about how much you're going to be expected to spend while you're here in Egypt. For the study section, I want to talk a little bit more about private tutoring as well. I forgot to mention that. So what I was paying for my teacher to listen to me for Quran and test me and do my revision with him was about 1,000 guinea per month, which is about $20. And I would go to his house and read with him with a bunch of other students. They would come whenever time they chose to go. But I would go like, after class or maybe after Doha time, I would go read to him. And I would go like 3 to 5 days a week, depending on how strong my revision was and if I was prepared to read that day. So that's what it's like to expect for reading to some teachers. And it depends really like how often you go. For me, I started with only 3 days a week because I wanted to make sure that I can manage my school, my studies for the US and here, and like be able to manage so I don't overwhelm myself and be behind, like just holding myself back. So I started with 3 days, but I recommend once you get used to everything, go to 5 days. That's what I first did when I started. And then for private tutors, it depends on the teacher. Some teacher, they charge anywhere from 150 to about maybe 400. I think the people were saying that they charge usually from $3 to like $7. So me, with my next step, what I'm planning to do is I'm trying to get a private teacher to come to my house and to help me progress faster with my Arabic, and also I can read to him for Quran. So they charge about, I think the one that I was recently talking to, his fee was about 200 guinea per hour. So that's about $4 an hour. And depending on how often I wanted to do for him, he was only available 3 days a week. So if I do $4 for 3 days a week, it's gonna be 12 times 4 is gonna be $48 a month. So that's going to be another fee that I forgot to mention. So studying with a private teacher is going to add about another $48 if that's something you want to do. So that's going to depend on how often you want to study, how much you want to push yourself to learn. And I recommend doing it so then you can have a one-on-one experience with the teacher and you can just experience how that feels at least a couple times. If you don't like it, then you can stick with the markets. But for me, I haven't tried it yet, so I'm hoping that I can try it and the experience is good, and then I'll let you know how it is.